The Russo brothers posted a green square, just a single rectangle of green uploaded to the internet at night like a message left for people who knew to be looking for it. And within hours, the entire Marvel fandom had taken that green square apart pixel by pixel like it was the Zapruder film. Because when the directors of Avengers Doomsday post something cryptic, nothing is ever just a color. So let us talk about what that green square might actually be telling us. And then let us talk about something much bigger. Because a new plot leak just dropped that goes deeper into what Avengers Doomsday actually is than almost anything we have heard before. And by the end of it, you are going to understand exactly why Doctor Doom is the most tragic villain Marvel has ever built, and exactly what he is planning to do to the entire multiverse. But first, the green square. Here is why it is not nothing. The Russos did not just post a color. They tagged account. They tagged Marvel Studios. They tagged the Avengers account. They tagged Robert Downey Jr., which immediately tells you this is not some abstract artistic statement or a vague tease about Doom's color palette. This is specifically, deliberately, undeniably connected to Avengers Doomsday. They wanted you to make that connection. They built the breadcrumb trail on purpose. And then the internet found the thing the Russos were probably hoping someone would find. Every color has a hex code. If you have ever bought paint, you know this. A hex code is the specific identifier that tells you exactly which shade of a color you are looking at. Because there are thousands of greens, and the code is how you tell them apart. The hex code of this specific green reads as 71826A. And if you look at that string the way a Marvel fan running on theories and caffeine looks at it, it becomes something else. 7/18/26, July 18th, 2026, and the A at the end, A for Avengers. July 18th, 2026, the Avengers Doomsday trailer release date, hidden inside the color of a blank square. Now, I want to be the voice of reason here for a second, because somebody has to be. This is not confirmed. A lot of channels are running with it like it is locked in stone, and it is not. It is a theory, a genuinely brilliant catch by some very dedicated fans, and a remarkable coincidence if it is a coincidence, but a theory. And the reason I am cautious is the Russo brothers have done this before. The look closer post, the look harder photos, cryptic teases dropped into the void that sent everyone spiraling and that the Russos then never explain. Ever. They have never once come out and said, yes, that thing meant what you thought it meant. So this green square might genuinely be the trailer date. Or it might be the Russos enjoying watching everyone lose their minds over a color one more time. There is also a second possibility that complicates the whole thing, because the Russos tagged two more accounts, Agbo Films, which is their own studio, and 6th London. And Agbo commented something is brewing. 6th of London happens the first week of June. The Russos had already posted about an Avengers Infinity War screening happening there on June 2nd, with an extended introduction from them and special guests. So now you have to ask, is the green square pointing to July 18th? Or is it pointing to something happening at XC London in early June? Or is it pointing to both? Two separate reveals. One next week, one in July. An extended intro at XCW with a special guest who might just be Robert Downey Jr., and a trailer date hidden in a hex code for the following month. We do not know. That is the honest answer. Keep an eye on July 18th. Do not tattoo it on yourself. But the green square is the appetizer. The plot leak is the meal. Because someone who claims to have actually seen the film has put a detailed breakdown online. And a lot of what is in it lines up with things we have heard from previous leaks, which is exactly what gives the new details weight. When a leak confirms the stuff you already knew, you start to take the new stuff more seriously. So let us walk through what this leak says actually happened. And it starts with the heroes coming together. Once the Fantastic Four arrive in the main universe, everybody assembles. They form a council. Doom is there. Shuri is there. Everyone shares what they know. And the reason the heroes end up traveling to the X-Men universe is genuinely elegant. Carol Danvers realizes that Monica Rambeau is trapped in another universe. The last time we saw Monica, she was stranded on the other side of a dimensional barrier, and that thread is finally getting paid off. So the team combines the technology of Reed Richards, Shuri, and Dr. Doom to track Monica's energy signature across realities. Three of the smartest beings in the multiverse pooling their genius to find one lost hero. That is how they end up at the X-Men universe. And the X-Men universe does not welcome them. This is the detail I have been theorizing about for a long time, and it is so satisfying to see it apparently confirmed. The X-Men universe is not a clean ally world where everyone shakes hands and teams up. It is a universe that has already survived multiple incursions. It has been attacked before. It has watched other realities try to destroy it to save themselves. So the people there are paranoid, traumatized, and they have learned a brutal lesson, which is that when someone arrives from outside, it usually means your universe is about to die. So when the heroes land to build the second part of their separation plan, the giant cannons designed to push universes apart from each other and prevent the incursions, the X-Men do not see rescuers. They see an invasion, and it becomes a war. And the matchups in this fight are insane. Nightcrawler ambushes them inside the mansion with a sword. Cyclops goes against Sam Wilson. Yelena corners Mystique. Except Mystique turns into Illyana, which is the kind of visual that only the multiverse can give you. Gambit fights Shang-Chi in what the leak calls rings versus stick, which is both hilarious and going to be absolutely beautiful to watch. Deadpool humiliates Reed Richards in a gag we have heard about before, and Monica, the entire reason they came, is caught in the middle, unsure who to even help, because she does not know these people and she does not know who is right. Then the turning point. Yelena is nearly killed by Mystique, and that is what sets off Sentry. Because here is what the leak adds about Sentry that makes his arc land. The reason Sentry loses control is not random. It is Illyana. From the very beginning, when everyone else treated Sentry with suspicion or coldness or open hostility, Illyana was the one who treated him with kindness. She looked out for him. She cared. And so when Illyana is in danger, when she is about to die going up against X-Men who massively outclass her, Sentry snaps. The void comes out. And it takes Professor Xavier entering his mind in the psychic realm to calm him down and stop the destruction. And in doing that, Xavier presumably sees the truth, that these people are not here to destroy anyone, they are here for a specific plan, and both sides finally make peace. And then, right when peace settles, the mansion gets hit. Sentinels. But not normal Sentinels. Sentinels imbued with green magical energy, they launch an assault on the X-Mansion. Cyclops fights them in the ruins. And as they close in, Professor Xavier and Magneto resolve to make their last stand together. And Magneto speaks the line that is reportedly in the trailer. Two old enemies, two old friends, standing together one final time against an enemy made of magic and metal. That is the kind of image this entire saga has been building toward. But the heart of this whole leap is what happens in Latveria, because this is where we finally understand Doom. The team goes to Latveria. Doom introduces Steve Rogers to his assistant, a man named Boris, pulled straight from the comic. Doom has masked followers, and judging by their silhouettes they appear to be women, with the leak strongly hinting that Klee and the Scarlet Witch are among them. And one of those followers impersonates Peggy Carter to manipulate Steve, which is a genuinely cruel and brilliant move that tells you everything about how Doom fights. He does not just hit you, he reaches into the thing you lost and uses it against you. And then Doom explains himself. And it is devastating. Doom's family was lost in a failed experiment tied to the incursions. That same catastrophe left him disfigured. He is confined to his mask. He relies on his suit of armor to keep himself alive. And here is the part that cuts deepest. Steve Rogers being in the wrong universe is part of what set off the chain of events that led to Doom's tragedy. So Doom blames the multiverse. He blames Reed Richards. He blames Steve. He takes all of that grief, all of that loss, all of that rage at a reality that took everything from him, and he turns it into purpose. And his purpose is this. He is going to use all the power he has gathered to build a new world from the ashes of the dying multiverse. A perfect world. His world, where he lives in blissful perfection and everyone who ever defied him suffers subjugation and punishment. And then he removes his mask. He forces Steve to look at his disfigured face. And Steve is stunned, because the face looks like Tony Stark. Now here is why this version of Doom matters so much, and why it is different from the comics in a way that I think is actually better for the screen. In the comics, Doom saves one universe at the very last second, because everything is collapsing and there is nothing else to be done. It is almost an act of desperation. Better to save something than nothing. In this film, that is not the plan. In this film, Doom decides from the beginning that the multiverse is a broken, painful mess made unbearable by the people in it, and that the solution is to erase all of it and replace it with a single universe that he controls completely. That is the connection to everything we have heard about Doom using the Scarlet Witch's chaos magic to mind control entire population. That is the blissful perfection. A universe where everyone is happy because Doom decided they would be, and where anyone strong enough to resist gets punished for the crime of remembering what was real. And I do not doubt that long before any of this, Doom genuinely was trying to save the multiverse. That is probably why he was building a machine to stop the incursions in the first place. He wanted to be the one who fixed it. But this is Doom. And the thing about Doom is that underneath everything, underneath the genius and the armor and the cause, Doom cares about Doom. So the moment his family died and his face was destroyed and the universe took everything from him, the mission stopped being about saving anyone. It became about control, about proving he could do it better than anyone else, better than Reed. And maybe, deep down, in the part of himself he would never admit to, knowing that Reed could have done it better and hating him for it. That is the villain of Avengers Doomsday. Not a conqueror who wants power for its own sake. A grieving man who lost everything and decided the only acceptable response was to become a god and remake reality so that he never has to lose anything again. The green square might be July 18th. The trailer might be at San Diego Comic-Con. The cannons and the Sentinels and the Sentry and Magneto's last stand might all be exactly as described. But the thing that is going to stay with you when you walk out of that theater is going to be a man taking off a mask, showing a face that looks like the hero this entire saga was built on, and explaining calmly why he has decided the universe does not deserve to exist. Watch July 18th, but watch Doom closer.